Rio de Janeiro is a city filled with so many bucket list experiences. The landscapes are stunning and the people love to have a good time. We came not knowing what to expect, but we were really excited to start exploring the city. Once we got here, we realized it's nothing like any city we've been to before. We landed at 1 a.m. and luckily the check-in process was really quick. We walked over to the Uber area, which is separate from how you exit the airport. There are signs and you go outside, and the Uber is the cheapest way to get around. The Uber to our place in Ipanema cost 70 real and took about 25 minutes. Our place cost around 300 real per night, and it's a full one to ourselves in the most expensive part of Rio. But we need to go to sleep early tonight because tomorrow it's time for a big bucket list experience. Good morning from beautiful Rio de Janeiro. It's a pretty late morning because we got in so late, but we're ready to start exploring, and today's Sunday. So we're going to one of the cool markets here in Ipanema called the Hippie market, which is only here on Sundays. Beautiful views from our balcony, and right there, that's the Christ the Redeemer. To get around the next few days, we'll be using bikes, and the best way to do that is by downloading the Bike Itao app. The bikes are located all over the city, and on the app you can see where they are. It's pretty easy to use. You just choose a plan. The one we chose was 15 real for 5 days. You get to have 4 one-hour rides. And to unlock them, you can just scan the barcode with your phone through the app. Just make sure to check the tires to see if they're flat before taking it out. The hippie market was fun to walk around. There's a lot of cool paintings and souvenirs, but we didn't end up getting anything. So we just got some bikes, and just look at these views. This is actually incredible. We're biking along Copacabana beach right now, and every Sunday they close down the road so that it's just all bikers and walkers here. So we're making our ways towards Ipanema beach now and just doing a nice little bike ride. First food we're getting is some acai, and we went to this spot called Polisutos and just got some 2 acai. What do you think of it?
It's one of the best acais I've ever had.
The acai from here was amazing, and I think definitely deserves to go into the S tier. We're watching a game at the famous Maracana stadium. Honestly, I don't even care for either of these teams, Fluminense versus Nova Iguaçu, but this is just so cool being at the stadium. Obviously cheering for Fluminense today though. In 1950, it had a capacity of 200,000 people, which is the record for the highest attendance in a World Cup match. Now the attendance is down to 80,000 people after the renovations. Pelé played his first game for Brazil here, and his 1,000th goal was scored here. This was one of the coolest experiences ever. It wasn't a big game, but it was still cool to see the cheers and the fans getting hyped for this. Super early wake up call today, but we're going to start a hike to hopefully get some really nice views of all of Rio. The hike we're doing is called the Dos Irmãos hike, 2 brothers in English. To get there, you have to take a motor taxi through the Vidigal Favela, which costs 10 real, and it starts right at the top. All these trees are about 25 years old because there was a big landslide that killed a bunch of people in this community. So they ended up, the communities of Vidigal and Rosina ended up rebuilding this whole area. Just finished the 2 brothers hike, and honestly, I can say the views are so incredible. Just look at this. All those mountains, the beaches, the city, the lagoon. Seeing Rio from above is just like, honestly, one of the craziest landscapes in the world. And after the hike, we're pretty hungry. So for brunch, we went to a spot called Emporio Jardim, and now we're just gonna eat some delicious brunch food. So this place was actually voted the best Pao de Queijos, which is like a cheese bread in Rio in 2021. So try it out.
I love how soft the dough is. It's delicious.
So this place is known for its tapioca, so we had to get tapioca. It comes with some eggs, tomatoes, and basil leaves, some papaya, of course, eggs Benedict with smoked salmon, and a delicious latte for Katya. Such a delicious meal. The Pao de Queijo, definitely S tier, like probably some of the best food we've had in the world by far. It was so good from here. And then the other 2 things, the tapioca and the egg sandwich, I'm gonna give that an A tier.
Yeah, that was, I think, some of the best food I've ever had, especially the Pão de Queijo. Amazing.
I hope we're saying that right.
Me too.
Now we just decided to take some bikes, again with the app. Now we're biking all around the lagoon because it just looks so beautiful and it's such a nice little bike ride. They have a really big bike path here. Definitely recommended just to like go around on your bikes. Just a nice afternoon activity. As we're biking along the beach, we just decided to stop. We just saw a deal and we had to try our first Caipirinha in Rio. 2 for 20 on Copacabana beach. Now we're in the area of Urca and we went to a spot, really popular spot, Pao de Acucar, Sugarloaf Mountain. Hope I said that well. And we're going up to the top to watch a sunset from here. The views at sunset, absolutely incredible. Make sure you line up early around like 4 p.m. to get onto the car or even do the hike. It was such a hot day today though, 40 degrees, so we decided not to do the hike after the one we already did. But it's so worth it. Definitely recommend coming here for sunset, but also grab a spot early, like grab it maybe 30 minutes before sunset. Even after the sun sets, the views are literally incredible at night, seeing everything. Such a beautiful spot. Definitely recommend sunset. For dinner, we're going to Maria e Oboi, which is a Michelin-rated restaurant in Ipanema. So this right here, that's some duck hearts. We have no idea what it tastes like, but it was intriguing, so we decided to try it.
Kind of reminds me of liver.
Here I got a beef brisket. Kati got some filet mignon. I'm not even gonna lie, I had a lot of good steak in my life. That might have been the best one I've ever had. Definitely S tier.
Yeah, that literally melted in my mouth.
If you want a link of all the best restaurants I found after hours of research and all the best spots in Rio, I'm gonna link my free Google Maps pins in the description. So now we're going to another massive bucket list item here in Rio. We heard that on the hike up to this spot, people get robbed, so we're taking the tram instead, and that's the tram do Corvocado. The tickets are 128 reals for this to go all the way up. And now we're at one of the 7 wonders of the world, Christ the Redeemer. So the statue was originally supposed to be of Princess Isabel, who was the one who abolished slavery here in Brazil in 1888, but instead she insisted that it be a statue of Jesus instead, since he's the true redeemer of mankind. So the head of Jesus was actually not sculpted here, it was sculpted by a Polish sculptor in France, and it was brought over here from France. And also, speaking of Poland, the biggest Jesus statue is not here either, it's actually in Poland in Świebodzin, which we had a chance to see back in 2022. But I gotta say, this one's definitely cooler because of the landscapes around and everything, and just where it is on top of a hill. We took the first train up at 7 a.m. and it was already so busy there. So now it's early morning and there's nothing better than a coffee in the morning. At least that's what Katya would say, because I don't like coffee.
I love coffee. I can't wait to try Brazilian coffee for the first time.
So we went to a spot called Rio Coffee House where they get the finest beans from all around Brazil. And it's actually one of the best coffee houses in Rio. It's actually right at the foot of the Christ the Redeemer hike when you get down.
Yeah, this is so good. You can't like taste the bitterness and the acidity. I usually hate drinking black coffee, but this, I went for doubles now, and it's so good.
And now we're going to try something very Brazilian, a pastel. The place we went to is called Pastel Crack, and I got pastel crack.
And I got a costelo con queijo.
I like the pastel, but since I'm comparing it to all the food we had in Brazil, I think I'm gonna say B tier for this.
I think I'm gonna give it A tier. It was really good. The dough was really crispy and nice.
Now we're heading to another one of the famous sites, and this one's in the city center.
There's nothing better than drinking a caipirinha on the stairs in Brazil.
Only 6 real for this. Definitely a worthy investment. So these stairs were created by a Chilean artist who traveled to over 50 countries and ended up settling in Rio because he liked it the most. And he started making this staircase because the stairs around his house were really poorly done. It was bad construction. And he used green, yellow, and blue because it's the colors of the Brazilian flag, and also red because he liked the color red. And so when he would run out of money, he would sell some of his paintings to make more, and he quickly got addicted to making this whole staircase, and that's why it goes up so high. There's already tiles now from 60 countries from around the world, and there's over 2,000 tiles here in general. We're in the area of Santa Teresa now, and it really reminds me of Lisbon here. Now we're gonna be trying some feijoada, which is a Brazilian black bean stew, and it's a very traditional dish, the national dish of Brazil. And what better spot to try it at than Bar do Mineiro, which is voted as the best spot in Rio to try some feijoada. So when you eat this, you have to put it on 4 sections of your plate like this, one for each one, and then you just dig in. So it was made in the 16th century when the Portuguese settled to Brazil, and is believed to have been made by slaves who used leftover pork and combined it with beans to make a stew. The feijoada was good, but like I said, the food here has been so amazing that compared to everything else, I think it's a B tier. And right beside it is a spot called Cultivar, which is said to have the best Pão de Queijos in Rio. The price was really cheap here too. For a pack of 8, it was 11 real. And of course, Katya had to get some more acai. Really good cheese bread here. Love this so much. I'm gonna say it's an S tier, but it tasted similar to the one we had yesterday.
Yeah, that was definitely S tier. That was amazing.
Now we're at the Havaianas store, and they're actually the largest retailer of flip-flops in the world, not just in Brazil. Now we got our Havaianas, and we can go to the beach. This morning, we're waking up and heading to Barra da Tijuca to do a turtle snorkeling tour. It was so cool to see a bunch of turtles swimming in the water, and just being so close to them felt amazing. It's right here!
Oh wow, he's seeing me!
From the turtle tour, we just decided to chill on the beach here at Tijuca Beach. Umbrellas cost 20 real, so keep that in mind. And it's just a really nice beach. Beautiful sand, beautiful water. Really great spot to just chill for a few hours, which is what we're gonna do. Got some fried cheese here, a Brazilian classic.
So good.
For food, we're heading to Mocellin Steakhouse, which is a churrascaria. This is the best steakhouse in the area, so we're excited to try. The steaks were great from here, a highly recommended spot, and the meal cost 187 real. Heading home, we're taking the metro from Jardim Oceânico station, which is the last station, and we're heading to our place in Ipanema, and it's only 750 real. Another bike ride along the beach, this time at sunset, because honestly it's the best thing you can do in Rio. Definitely my favorite thing is biking along the beaches, and the sunsets here, crazy. Another thing you definitely need to talk about here is safety, and I've got to say, if there's a lot of people around, you should be okay. And also, after sunset, you got probably like a 2 to 3 hour window, especially around the beach areas, where you should be fine to walk around the streets, and after that, it's probably better to just use an Uber everywhere. Especially in the areas of like Ipanema and Copacabana, those areas are gonna be safer right after sunset. There's so many people around, so you shouldn't be too worried. We decided to go out for drinks after to Boteco Belmonte in Ipanema, and it might be the coolest bar here in Rio. The drinks are amazing and the location is perfect too. We got some more Caipirinhas, kiwi and lychee. Katya's is seriguela and passion fruit. For breakfast, we went to a place called Nema. We got some French toast and then also a croque monsieur. Stuff is all made from sourdough bread. It's supposed to be the best sourdough bakery here in Ipanema. We're We're walking around Leblon now, and this is one of the richest areas of Rio. It kind of feels like a separate area of the city. We biked to the Leblon area now, and we went into this one mall called Shopping Leblon. It's a really massive mall, has like any store you can think of. Also got ourselves some beach tennis rackets to play at the beach later. And just a really nice mall to walk around, especially on a really hot day. Like it's 41 degrees today. And now we're here to get the best brigadeiros, and they're at a spot called Brigadeiro Fabiana d'Angela. So we're gonna try some. The brigadeiros, definitely the traditional ones were my favorite. Those were definitely S tier.
Yeah, those were so good. I'm gonna give them S tier.
One nice late night bike ride and a stop for some quick 2 for 20 Caipirinhas. It's honestly so beautiful here. Even at night, the beaches are just so incredible. Beaches are definitely the way to travel to here in Rio. It's so beautiful. It's where all the fun is. It's where like everything is. Highly recommend always finding some time to just chill at the beach, especially in the evenings. The evenings are by far the best time to go. Around sunset too. Another day and another early wake up for a hike. The one we're doing now is Pedra da Gávea, which is in the Barra da Tijuca neighborhood. It's about a 3-hour hike to get to the top, and near the top there's something really scary that we're both going to be trying for the first time. These sticks are holding up this rock completely. It's definitely a very difficult hike. We're hiking through the first like half hour is all just steep uphills, maybe even the first hour. And then it starts to get less steep, but it's a pretty long hike so far. And especially on a hot day like this, you get very sweaty. This is so insane. We're right at the top now, but unfortunately just a bunch of cloud here, so can't see a lot of the view. We're gonna stay up here for a bit longer. Hopefully it clears up.
The rock climbing part was definitely so scary, but honestly, it goes by faster than you would think.
Going back down the cliff is much scarier. You just go down an almost 90-degree drop without looking. And after that long hike, there's nothing better than just getting good food. So we went to a place right by our house called So_Low Cafe, and we're just getting some acai here.
That was so good. I love the addition of the peanut butter in the middle.
Now we're going for a rodizio style steakhouse. You knew we had to do it. Had to get some good meat here. So a cool story about how the rodizio style was invented was that someone came around and brought out steak for the wrong person. So they cut them a bit of a slice just so that they wouldn't feel sad that they don't have the piece. And then they started cutting it for everyone, and everyone really liked that style. So then it just became the theme of the restaurant, and now it's a really popular style in Brazil. My favorite thing right here, the pineapple. Oh, how good it is. The steak was so amazing here. Picanha is the go-to for sure, but for a final meal, this definitely deserves an S tier. It was a must try, and you can't visit Rio without going to a rodizio style steakhouse like this. We went into this store right here and got ourselves some discounted Carnaval stuff. Our flight is today, so we didn't really do much, just chilled at the beach, and now we're going on a boat for sunset. We take off from Urca and just chilled near Niterói. I love the host of the boat, and they were amazing, and I'm gonna link the tour we did below. They gave us endless caipirinhas, some food, and it was just such an amazing tour. One super cool random fact that I have to share is that when the Portuguese settled here in January, they thought this body of water was a river, so they called the city Rio de Janeiro, which directly translates to River of January. The sun is setting, and so is our time in Rio, and there's no better way to end this off than with a beautiful sunset cruise. I really want to thank you so much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you again in the next one.